What do you do when a 9-year-old kill a 15-year-old? That's the question right now, man. What do you do? Who's at fault? What should be the punishment? So it's a story out my city, right? That's just that. A 15-year-old was shot and killed by a 9-year-old. Tragic. Listen to the parents.
A 15-year-old girl is killed in a tragic accident after being shot by a 9-year-old. It happened Saturday night in southwest Baltimore. WMAR 2 News' Nordea Lewis has the latest information, including who the gun belonged to.
It happened right here on her own front porch. Police say a 9-year-old was playing with a loaded gun when he accidentally shot 15-year-old Nikayla Straughter. Neighbors say the 9-year-old was going around the community showing off the gun and playing with it. But once it hit Straughter in the head, people say he immediately dropped the gun and ran away.
If that gun had been in the gun case, locked up, both of those children will still have futures to look forward to.
The gun was registered to the 9-year-old's family member who serves as an armed security guard. Straughter's family says they knew the boy well and is heartbroken by the situation. Nikayla's father says this is a nightmare he will never wake up from.
My daughter was laying right there in front of my mailbox, bleeding from her head. But when my wife picked her up, all the blood in her brains fell out into my wife's hands. Because it doesn't make sense for a child to have access to a firearm under no circumstances. There is no excuse for that. Because now my daughter will no longer be able to smile. She'll never have another birthday. We'll never be able to wake up with her.
The 15-year-old's family says Nikayla had big dreams and wanted to use whatever career she pursued to pave the way for the next generation.
She makes everybody happy. She kept a smile on your face and mine.
People say although the city may have programs to occupy the youth, they don't do a good job of promoting it. Neighbors say most of the time, kids are just sitting around because their parents don't know of any programs.
I don't know about anything that's going on, anything positive, I just don't. I don't see nothing. Where would I even find it?
I'm reaching out to the city of Baltimore, do something to help these children. So no more children like my daughter have to suffer like this.
The 9-year-old can't be charged for a crime due to his age, but police say they're working closely with the state's attorney's office and potential charges are pending. In Baltimore, Nordea Lewis, WMAR 2 News.
Dad.
My daughter was everything to me. She was everything. I watched what I formed in my womb leave her body.
She spoke to us from the porch in Edmondson Village, where her daughter was shot in the head over the weekend.
I hear it. Boom. It shook my house. It shook my soul. I look over to the left. I see a land. I don't see the blood at this time. I go to her. I said, Kayla. I said, Piney, wake up.
Police say the person who pulled the trigger was a 9-year-old boy who will not face charges because of his age. The gun was registered to a relative of the 9-year-old who works as a security guard.
This is a child that was able to get to a Glock and shoot my baby right in the head on her porch. My soul, my heart knows that this is not right. This is no accident.
Police tell us their investigation into how the child was able to obtain the weapon remains open.
I just want my daughter to get the justice that she deserves. I don't want her to have to look down upon what's going on right now and say, oh my gosh, I'm another statistic.
So the initial reports was it was a mistake, right? That's what the news is reporting. But you got a lot of people saying that this child who's 9 years old. Can't forget that. Not 12, not 13, not 14, not 15. 9. People are saying this child need to go to jail. Now, before I say anything, I want to send my condolences to the family, because it's fucked to both families. But to the family of the victim, yo, that had to bury a 15-year-old, yo, is devastating. 15-year-old girl. Devastating. I couldn't imagine the pain. But what's going on right now is, like I said, they're trying to decide who's liable. So you heard the story. The 9-year-old got the gun from a family member. From what I'm hearing, it was a woman. She was a correctional officer, or worked in some type of security. I think they need to be held liable. Now, I don't know what kind of charges that you can get for being it's not really an accomplice. You can't really get them with conspiracy because she didn't know. But I'm sure there's something, because somebody has to be held liable. Now, you heard what they said. In Baltimore, in Maryland, you can't charge a 9-year-old with a fucking felony. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is, you don't have to. Him witnessing that alone is a bigger sentence than any jail time he can ever fucking get. You heard what just happened, man. The boy shot the girl in the head, and what I understand, once the gun went off, the boy dropped the gun and ran. That says it all. He dropped the gun and ran. How do you ever hear a situation like that, where someone kills another person and drops the gun? So I can see it being a mistake. But the mother doesn't seem to think so, because she came out with a statement. Kayla took a bullet to the head for her brother. That little B came to kill her little brother. Junior wouldn't come outside, so he shot Kayla. I'm so angry. My family is not okay and won't be okay for a long time. Please do not listen to what the news outlets say. I don't care what Murder Ain't Post. That little boy came with intentions to kill. Him and my nephew did not have a history of being friends. It was a fight between them, and he came there to the house with bad intentions, and my nephew would not come outside. Kayla walked on the porch from returning from the hair store with her best friend, only to see Aiden, the child who murdered her, on the porch. Her being a big sister, she stuck up for the brother, probably telling him what he's not going to do. Aiden then pulled out the gun, aimed it at her head, and pulled the trigger. Where the F is the mistake in that? And the state won't charge him because of age. LOL, America is a fucking joke. You're right, America is a joke. But what we can't do, but I get it, y'all. Emotions is running high right now, rampant. She done said the little boy name. Because the people know how this shit normally go. When you're dealing with juveniles, the news is not going to show no names or pictures, out of respect to the child. So the anger, she was so angry, she just released his name. So the boy name is Aiden. But at 9 years old, 9, that's 4th grade, can you really make a conscious decision to kill? Because to make a conscious decision, you got to know the ramifications of the consequences of that decision. Can we really say this 9-year-old knew what he was doing? Can we really say this 9 years old child knew that he can go to prison for life for pulling this trigger? I don't think we can. I don't think we can make that assessment. So that's why it's being called a mistake. Even if he did intentionally go there to do that. Mentally, he's not able to know exactly what he's doing. He might have seen it on the video game, watched a few movies, might have seen it in his neighborhood. That's the trenches. Emerson Avenue, Emerson Village. It get grimy down there. Anybody from the city know. So this is just a situation of him being a product of that. But to say he knew what he was doing, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. But it has to be somebody held accountable. Now, people are saying this child should get juvenile life. That's to 21 years old, max. So people are willing for this child to go to jail for 14 years. How is a 9-year-old going to go to jail, come home at 21 or 18, and be productive in the world? He don't know nothing else but incarceration. Now, juvenile system is not like the adult system, but it's still jail. Stay away from your family. He's not going to have the brain capacity to come home and do anything productive. His life is probably already ruined. Already. He's never going to forget this. Ever. He's going to have nightmares at night. He killed somebody. Watch the fall. The mother said she picked up and her brains came out, yo. Like, he's saying all of that. That's a life sentence. For him. So the family decide they don't want to speak. I don't like that. Your child did this. You need to come out and explain yourself. You need to explain yourself. And I thought that the child came there to fight the little girl brother. But it actually was her cousin. Or that was the mother on the news. And the cousin was the one that decided to speak out for this article. I'm just saying, yo, we gotta really start focusing in on our kids, man. We need to know what's going on with them, man, so we can avoid situations like this, man. It's another situation where everybody loses. Nobody wins. It's fucked up either way it go. But I want to know how y'all feel about this shit, man. Should this child be punished, like, severely? Should he be charged with anything? Is juvenile life good enough? What should the owner of the gun be facing? Let me know in the comments, man. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. You feel me? I'm ready to do something else. Another video. I'm ready to talk about Nicole Linton. Very detailed. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. We're gonna dive deep into that shit. Before you blink, I'm gonna have it out. And I'm gone.